Alright, welcome back everybody. This is Doa, and this is it, guys. This is Game 3 between Slayer's Boxer, spawning as our Red Terran player at the top part of GSL XelNaga Caverns, and his opponent, again, July Zerg, spawning as our Blue Zerg player down at the bottom of XelNaga Caverns. And we're going to have to see who can take this best of 3 show match. Again, this was played and casted originally in Korean only at a big special event. LG was showing off their new 3D technology, and I gotta say, it was really, really impressive. Very, very cool to see this game in 3D. If you ever get a chance to, definitely check it out. But this match has been crazy. July Zerg going for a absolutely insane mass infestor strategy last game on Scrap Station. It didn't work out quite as well as he was hoping, I think. But at the same time, I mean, it really brought in the possibility of just what infestors can do against Terran players in TVZ right now with that buff to fungal growth. So hopefully that's something we're going to see a lot more in the future. But Boxer doing a good job of just playing standard and taking down July Zerg, forcing a Game 3 in this best of 3. And again, if recent history is any indication, Slayer's Boxer, despite being a legend in StarCraft, is actually the underdog. So we're going to have to see if he can come back and do this. Looks like, again, Slayer's Boxer starting with the proxy barracks. One thing that Boxer really likes to do is kind of get into the head of his opponents. Again, we can see July moving his drone around, trying to find that barracks, but he's not going to see it anywhere, so he wonders, am I being proxied? If I am being proxied, how close is it going to be to my base? Is it a 2 barracks proxy? Is it 1 barracks? What's going on? So right now, July Zerg definitely on his toes, trying to find out what's going on, but Slayer's Boxer, again, just trying to get that Marine a little bit closer here. This Overlord may get there eventually, but again, it is a slow Overlord right now, not quite a speedy regular Overlord. July Zerg starting with gas before pool again. So July going to be going for that Zergling speed a little bit quicker, which isn't a terrible idea. I think there was maybe a pause. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, there may have been a pause in this game, but everything is all good now. No hatch first from July Zerg again. XelNaga is one of those maps where the natural is kind of hard to defend sometimes for Zerg players. Terrans can get the Hellions in there, which cause a lot of damage, obviously, if they are left to roam about unchecked, firing blue jets have fired anything in their path. Command center going down for Boxer as well, so we will be going for a 2 racks, or I'm sorry, 1 racks expand. This spot will be filled by this barracks floating merrily along there. So right now, SCV doing a little bit of scouting, but not seeing a whole lot. July Zerg sending out a lot of Zerglings right now to do some scouting, try to find that barracks. I don't believe he's quite seen it yet. Yeah, all July's really seen are the command center and the original supply depot. So again, he knows there's a barracks out there somewhere. Still scouting with it, with his Overlord. Yeah, he will see that as soon as he moves up the ramp, though. There's the barracks. He can make a pretty safe assumption that one of those barracks was the original one that was proxied, possibly. Getting his hatchery as well, so feeling a little bit safer now. He has got his Zergling speed going up, so he can afford to pull guys off gas. Now the question is, will July decide to play something a little bit more standard? Will he decide to go for something, you know, Mutiling? Or will he decide to play a little bit crazier? Will he decide to Baneling bust? July definitely one of those players that does like to go all in nearly every game at some point in it. Just decides that he has enough drones for the game, he can just kill the player. That SCV being tragically taken down by the Zerglings, but such is the life of an SCV. Supply depot camped out on the high ground there as well, and it looks like Slayer's Boxer gonna want to be putting up possibly a couple bunkers. Stay a little bit more defensive, moving out with these Marines as well. Let's get that cool nameplate up there so we can keep track of the food at all times. Very neat. If we take a look at the income right now, looks like Slayer's Boxer is a little bit ahead in terms of what's being gathered at this current point in time. He does have his natural up and running right now. July Zerg getting his natural up and running as well. He does have 2 queens out on the field. APM tab showing July playing very quick. July actually known for having one of the highest APMs in StarCraft Brood War as well, I believe. Yeah, hovering around 300 right now, almost going up to 400 there. Definitely a very quick player. But right now, both players kind of getting their builds going. July Zerg getting a second gas at his natural, getting his lair, excuse me, lair as well. Evolution chamber up on the way. And Boxer going for a very good strategy on XelNaga Caverns. He is going to be going for that blue flame upgrade. Hellions can be quite good. No spine crawlers yet for July Zerg either. Usually you want to put a spine crawler around here or possibly here to kind of cover this back area where the Hellions do want to travel around quite a bit. Looks like July though just teching really fast right now this game, getting his 3rd gas already. He's going to be going for a fast upgrade, and it looks like all indications kind of point to July going Mutiling in this game. I did see this played live, but that was about a week ago already, and honestly, I can't quite remember all the details of the games, but that's cool because it's like I'm watching them again for the first time. Just tons of fun. Speedlings moving around on the map for July Zerg. How much really has he seen so far, though? That's the question. Hasn't seen a whole lot. He does know about the barracks and the expansion. He can assume that tanks are coming at some point. Armory actually being constructed by Slayer's Boxer. He may decide to get some pretty quick Thors as well, or just decide to skip tanks altogether and go biomech. You notice he is getting that Marine Shields upgrade a little bit quicker. July taking a very fast 3rd too, but this SCV did scout it, so he may decide to just cancel that because Slayer's Boxer is moving out excuse me, right now to take a look at that. July Zerg though catching that SCV before it can really see anything. Boxer does need to be on his toes as well because of just kind of the crazy strategy that July did last game, really proving that he can go pretty much anything and still be partially effective with it at the very least. Boxer scanning to take out some creep tumors right now, and actually producing 2 Thors, so it looks like it will be excuse me, wow, what's wrong with me? Will be more of a biomech play from Slayer's Boxer. July though not canceling this hatchery quite yet. Here come the Hellions right now. And Boxer is strangely not bringing the Marines, and I'm a little bit surprised about this, as the Marines are going to be attacked by the Speedlings right now. The Hellions are out of position, coming back just in time. Boxer saving his Marines there. One of the Hellions being taken out by the Banelings. And all these Banelings, not a single one is going to be getting to the base. But July does counterattack, getting into the SCV line at the natural expansion. Not really able to cause too much damage. Here come the Hellions, are going to be able to keep things quite safe. Escaping down the tasteless secret hallway, it looks like. And the hatchery being restarted right now for July. He did have to cancel that. Boxer right now doing a good job of taking map control with those Hellions. And if we take a look at the units lost tab right now, July definitely a little bit behind in that regard, but still not doing too horribly yet. Overlord's doing a good job of looking for any Hellions moving about the map. And here comes a pretty big force from July Zerg. Is he going to be able to surround the Hellions? He's losing a lot of Zerglings to those Hellions, but he needs to run. The Mutalisks are chasing the Hellions down pretty quickly. And now that the Hellions are out of the way, they can go after the natural now. But there are 2 Thors there trying to magic box those swords, but I don't know if it's going to be enough Mutalisks. Is he going to be able to repair the Thors in time? One SCV doing some repairing, and July forced to pull back after losing about half of his Mutalisks. So not the best attack ever for July Zerg. One of his things he tends to do is be a little bit aggressive, a little bit risky with his Mutalisks. He does tend to lose a lot in his early aggression. Usually that doesn't end up making a big difference, but July's big weakness is that switch just happens inside his brain where he stops producing drones, just keeps producing units, and tries to kill you. And the thing is July is very good at killing you when he decides to do that. But on the other hand, if he can't kill you for some reason, then suddenly you're way ahead, and it becomes very difficult for him to win. So right now, July may be moving into that option, but it looks like Spine Crawlers slowly moseying across the field here. Of course, Slayer's Boxer does see that right now, and I think he's going to try to take those out. These Spine Crawlers may be in trouble. Mutalisks coming to try to defend, but there's so many Marines there. Oh no! Slayer's Boxer taking out a lot of those Mutas. Spine Crawlers going down there, not going to be able to burrow in time. This Queen valiantly trying to defend, but she is going to be taken out. And not the most blaze of glory ever. And July is going to be losing his 3rd expansion. A huge blow to July Zerg early in the game. Mutalisks and drones feeling a little bit useless right now. July has begun roach production. He can just mass roaches against that. That can work fairly well. You can either mass roaches or you can even mass mutas against this. If you can catch the Thors out of position, Mutalisks can of course do quite well if they are spread out properly. A lot of roaches coming up for July Zerg, but between Stim and the Thors, I don't think it's going to be enough. July Zerg thinking he can engage. Not going to be enough though. trying to protect the drones as well. Boxer not quite having enough to finish the job. And here comes some banelings from Jelizerg. Boxer needing to be a little bit careful. May decide to take out the rocks here to get that gold expansion. Looks like that is what he's deciding to do. Income tab does show July still ahead in harvesters, 56 to 47. But again, he is only on 2 bases. Looks like he may decide to go after the gold as well. Slayer's Boxer looks like he's got something to say about that, and he's going to say it with tank shells. The rocks are down, but Slayer's Boxer is moving in. A lot of banelings though for Jelizerg. He does need to play it pretty carefully. So right now, both players at more or less a bit of a stalemate. July is starting to fall behind a little bit, as he has not been able to get his third up and running. In ZVT, of course, you always do want to stay ahead in bases against your Terran opponent. Slayer's Boxer moving out with a pretty scary force. Is it going to be enough? The siege tank's not quite getting sieged up in time, but I don't think Jelizerg has enough to take this out. Maybe he does. One Thor going down, a couple tanks being taken down. Jelizerg pulling back, Marine stimming, only having 1 Medivac to heal them right now. And Jelizerg probably going to need to cancel this. And actually, he doesn't cancel. Jelizerg losing the resources for that expansion, I believe, as well as this Overlord. And right now, July in big trouble. Slayer's Boxer does have a good amount of Marines, but will July be able to hold this off? He's moving in with the Roaches and Speedlings. Speedlings surrounding the tanks. Roaches going after those Marines. The Thor does go down. There are a lot of Medivacs and some reinforcing tanks, so Jelizerg just not able to get any sort of traction. All those Roaches at very low health at the moment. Reinforcing with a couple new ones, and he may decide to just try to go around for a counterattack. I think that's what his plan is. Meantime, though, a large group of reinforcements coming in from Slayer's Boxer. Slayer's Boxer ahead slightly in the food count, 123 to 119. But in terms of his position psychologically and just positionally in his game, he's doing quite well. Saying something there, but I don't know what it is exactly. Whoa, lots of scans. Jelizerg, knowing that he's lost to Slayer's Boxer right now. Maybe a little bit of DM from Slayer's Boxer, but again, this was a show match. But here come the banelings from Jelizerg. Is it going to be enough? Lots of Marines being taken out. A couple do survive. The Roach numbers just going down too quickly, though, for Jelizerg. And Slayer's Boxer looks like he's going to have enough to finish this off. The natural is down. July GG's. Slayer's Boxer taking down Jelizerg in this best-of-3 show match. The Emperor has returned, taking down a very prominent Zerg player right now. Man, that was actually great. Best-of-3. And again, you can kind of tell the players were just sort of having fun. It looks like July hasn't left the game quite yet. These guys were really kind of joking around and laughing with each other after the game. So despite the little bit of BM we saw, it was just in fun. It was just teasing. These guys are still buddies. But yeah, awesome best-of-3 from Jelizerg and Slayer's Boxer. So happy I was able to cast it for you. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you like my casting, please subscribe. Also check out my Twitter at DOA_SC. I do a lot of picture taking at the GSL when I am there, which is pretty much every time. And again, watch for Code A next season. I'm going to be casting it along with my co-caster, who you will find out about a little bit later. Can't wait. We will see Slayer's Boxer in Code A. We'll see if he can continue beating top pros like Jelizerg. But that is the end of this. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, guys, and keep playing StarCraft 2.